Crave presents Afterglow Sundays on the Current from Crossfade Commons. Verse, voice, and witness. Another Stays In production.
Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. What is this? It is the Stays In verse. Afterglow Sundays, Crossfade Commons. We bring you the current. I am your host today, the original Big Crave, aka the Lyrical Exodus, aka Angelo Carducci, aka Goldie, for those that don't know me. And I'm joined today by my lovely co-host, Southern Soul, aka Angel Kim, aka Moo Moo, for those who do not know who. I am blessed today to have two of the most beautiful, phenomenal souls in the universe. Forget what they do. We'll get to that later. I have the Omari Barksdale, y'all. Y'all, just clap for that. Just clap for that. That's Omari Barksdale, y'all. And he's going to let you know what's happening. Also, I have UNtitled. UNtitled. And I'm going to give him a clap, too. He's going to let you know what's happening, too. And these two brothers are the glorious foundation of poetry and manhood, and the future of poetry and manhood. Man, I am so glad. First of all, I'm gonna check in with my guest co-host. Hey, look, AK, how you doing today? You're looking phenomenal. You are looking gorgeous today, sis. And I just had to let the people know, y'all. Hey, man, give it up for that. Man, she looking sharp today. All right. How you doing, Miss AK?
I am well. I'm excited for today.
Are you excited?
Sit down with three amazing kings. What?
Oh man, look.
Come on now. What the girl asked for?
All right, so we're gonna do this thing like this, man. Omari, how you doing, brother?
Hey man, I'm cold, chilling on the one, maxing, taxing, relaxing, snapping necks and cashing checks, you know?
UNtitled, how you doing, brother?
I thought it was something in my beard, but it's actually the shine. It's the way the light is hitting the gray hair. So
all right. Listen, we're going to start with the first question, all right? So it's for both of you. And this is the question from Pray Erna to the next guest. Now, Pray
Erna, how you doing, dear?
She gave this question. And so what we do here in the current, we bring the next question on to our two guests, or the guest that's going to be on the next show. So here's the question. How important is it to be a good soul in a human being as pertaining to being a poet and an activist? How important is it to be a good soul and a human being as pertaining to being a poet and an activist? Omari.
Well, that's actually something I can answer for quite a while. But
come on, work with it. We got plenty of time, baby.
I would say that it's important because, first off, being a good soul, is edifying to oneself, right? Like it's important to yourself. It's important to your health. It's important to your joy. It's important to all of that. So as an artist, a lot of times we automatically are kind of activists, right? Even if it's just the activism that comes from our words that inspires others. You never know. It could be somebody going through something. It could be somebody who you give a perspective to that they never had that helps them elevate in some particular way, be it business, personal, whatever. Sometimes if you go back and check your poetry, you actually see a prophet within yourself, right?
Ooh,
because being attached to the goodness of your soul means you're attached to the universal needs, right? So you wind up being prophetic in some of your poetry, and sometimes you don't know it for 5 or 10 years. But being a good soul is just you playing your part on this planet, in this society, at this time in the world's existence. So it's super important for your own healing, your own protection, your own joy, but it's also you being able to reflect the positivity of the universe back out into the universe itself.
Man, oh man, that's a beautiful, beautiful dissertation of life. Y'all need to marinate on that. I'm gonna let that breathe for like 3 seconds. Untitled, man. Same question, brother. How important it is to be a good soul and a human being, man, as pertaining to a poet, man, and an activist, brother, in your opinion?
I think it is, as far as activism, I think it is foundational to the success of that activism. Because, like, you can see bad people come along, lead people, find success, but it's something that they can't sustain. Because at the end of the day, your foundation wasn't of quality, right? In terms of the art, bad people make good art, but again, as a poet in specific, I would say you find success as a good person because good people think about others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they feel for others. And there's a certain amount of sensibility or sensitivity, I should say, and authenticity that it takes in order to be great at art, because there's a responsibility that you have to address, and it's not something that a selfish person can carry easily.
Oh man, come on, that's good. That's good, man. I'm so, man, that brought my mind in so many directions, man, and I ain't gonna even trip on it, man, but I'm gonna go ahead and let my co-host get her question out, man, because this is how we do, man. Y'all have definitely blessed me with that answer, man. Now, later on, brothers, you two are gonna leave 2 questions for the next person. So throughout this broadcast, y'all make sure y'all, kind of remember that in the back of your mind. I'll make sure I prompt y'all when it's time for that question, man, but it's towards the end, okay? So, Southern Soul, what questions do you have for our guests? And the floor is yours, baby, because you're going to have fun with this already. No.
So the question that I want to ask is this. Due to recent events that have aspired over the past couple of days, how can mentors like yourself, curators like yourself, keep a space neutral and safe for other poets, especially our women, to feel safe to come, to feel safe to share, because that's very important, just across the board, not just women, but it is highly important for women, but just across the board.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
So, first and foremost, it's important to let the women know and see and feel your sincerity and your understanding of the anti-woman nature that we see so often out here in these spaces. It's important for them to see and feel and know specifically how you feel about that, and that you're not accepting of it. And not only that you're not accepting of it, you're an active participant in working to end that anti-woman sentiment and actions, especially from a violent standpoint. But it's as equally important for men to know it and see it and feel it as well, no matter what spectrum they're on from the standpoint of how women are viewed, whether they're violent towards women or whether they're supportive of women and healthy towards women. They all need to see it because they need to know when they come to your venue or your spaces, they need to know what they're going to run across if they violate. But they also need to know what you're going to run across if they're there to support and they want to, you know, break bread and build with other brothers who want to support women as well, and women's well-being and women's safety and women's creativity. So it's just important to not shy away from and not be apologetic about your love and support for women and the struggle that women go through every day in this country, in this world. It's just really important that you let it be known out front in a very broad manner that you don't play games with that. And it's important to develop healthy relationships with the women in that environment. So they know it goes beyond you just being performative.
I appreciate that.
And checking in with women to make sure they are feeling safe and comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, that does make a difference right there.
Untitled, you want to handle that too? A question?
So Coach is a professional, so I feel like his answer was superb. But I also just want to say, in a smaller sense, like letting women know that they can be supportive, you know, and receive that without you having to grandstand on it. I think that that's really important. You know, like, it's not I'm doing this and look at me, or I'm gonna stand and take the bullet for you necessarily all the time. Sometimes it's, hey, I'm behind you in case you can't handle this on your own, or stepping in and saying, hey, this voice still needs to be heard regardless of the situation. And I think it's just trying to be consistently mindful of that, especially in a space.
Yeah, I have experienced that firsthand. And what happens is that, and I'm gonna speak upon the male ego on this, because sometimes it gets so crazy, man. If the ego doesn't understand the mission or the assignment, they turn it into a courtroom instantly. But when the ego understands that this is a classroom, then it takes it further. You know, I've seen Omari in places turn spaces into an instant classroom. And this is where, you know, and that's a beautiful question, AK, because I am all for it. If you know me, you ain't gonna look here. I ain't even got to do that. I ain't Popeye and nothing like that. But Untitled, Omari, no. I don't play no games when it comes to my sisters, especially Miss Lady and AK or any other sister that come in the room. You got a problem. Any space that you do that, you're gonna have a problem with me. And like I say, I'll use my Liam Nelson line. I got a specific set of skills that and I promise you that we can deal with you in a way. All right. So I just had to get that out there. This question comes, it's not going to be general, but Omari, and then a title. What in the world made you become a poet? Because I don't think everybody know that. And so I've heard it before, but I need to hear it again, because if the ancestors breathed upon you and there was drums going, and how my boy J. Cole say, you know, sparks was flying, and you know, there was thunder, and Shango was doing whatever he was doing, and all those things, how in the world did Omari Barksdale become a poet? And I'm gonna go to you next, sometime.
So
look at him laugh.
I was one of Detroit's early MCs in the mid 80s. Well, a little bit after, like 86, I started rapping. I was really good at it. So I did it throughout high school, wound up in college, and I was so focused on all the things in college, right? Maybe not as focused on academia as I should have been, but I was at least somewhat focused. And, you know, I just found myself having less and less time to do hip hop stuff, right? And I was in Big Rapids, Michigan. At the time, it was like one of them little 2-horse towns, and it wasn't a lot of hip hop stuff going on there. So towards the end of my college career, I wound up in some classes where I felt, you know, I felt really advanced already. The work felt redundant and kind of boring. I already knew how to do it. I knew what it was. So I started writing. I heard The Last Poets for the first time at that point in about 6 years.
Yeah.
And it hit differently to me because I guess my life experiences at that point were much more enriched and different and more abundant. And then I heard Malik Youssef on like Water for Chocolate.
Yeah.
Right.
One of my favorites. Yeah.
And then my sister, I grew up with, same block, same school, Jessica Care Moore. You know, we came up together. So she sent me her tape from the Apollo, her stuff on the Apollo. Because we couldn't get the Apollo anywhere on TV in college. So she called me and told me she had been on Apollo. She sent it to me. And I was like, oh, this is a thing. This is like a thing now, right? So I started writing a little bit, and then I came home from college around that time, and I heard I was exposed to Slam and Slam Nation. The movie Slam by Saul Williams and Slam Nation, which was about a slam team that included Jessica Care Moore, Bosia, Saul Williams, and Mums the Schemer. May he rest in peace. I love that brother.
Rest in peace, God.
And I became more and more inspired. And then my little sister died. This is 2001 now. She died. I lost 2 sisters to epidemic. I lost my oldest sister in 2020. She was the 10th person in Michigan to die from COVID. But I lost one of my younger 2 sisters in 2021 from a meningitis outbreak in Michigan that killed 5 people. So I was writing through the pain, writing through the suicide thoughts of wanting to go be with my sister. You know, it was a lot of unintentional healing work being done in my writing. And then when I reached a certain point where I felt more healed, I said, well, if I dealt with this, maybe if I offer these poems up to the world, there's somebody else that might not necessarily be a writer or a painter or whatever, and they might take my words and apply them to their world and use it as healing. So that was my intention as a poet. That's how I started out as a poet. So I started as a poet in 98, and then I really started hitting stages in 2001, and it just took off from there.
Man, amazing stories, man. Untitled, you already know what it is, baby. You see the format, where you're going? You see it's past skills, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. Man, that's so wholesome.
Yes,
mine is not that wholesome. Okay. So this is funny. I was dating someone, and when we had started dating, she had written me a love poem, which is really what preceded to us starting to date. So after several months, there was a day I lost my job, and so obviously you got to come home early, tail between your legs. And I came home, and she was moving her stuff out of my house. So I lost my girl, and I lost my job on the same day. And so after like the worst 30 days, like one of the worst 30-day spans you can imagine, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get back in the saddle. I need to go find where the women at. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go to this poetry spot. So I pulled up, and after about a month of being there, like I was like, like if she wrote me a poem, maybe I'll write a poem and I can get her back. And so I was going there after about a month of being there to really like practice how to say it and make sure I was writing it good based on crowd feedback and stuff like that. Never got the girl back, but ended up running into this little dude after about 6 weeks that kept bugging me to come to his show. Like, you got to come to my show. You got to come to my show. And I was like, man, dude, weird. And that ended up being one of my closest brothers, Lucky Lefty, Matt Sawyer. And he kind of
great poet.
He kind of made a poetic home for me. And it was through his encouragement that I discovered slam. And it was through that experience that I ended up with Coach. So, yeah, I'm here by accident, y'all.
Oh, no, I ain't gonna say no accident, man.
Yeah, but accidents don't happen.
No, accidents don't happen.
It was just, I feel like it was just divine timing. It was just your time to come.
Hey, a flip side on that story is Lucky Lefty that he's talking about. Chris wound up being his coach on the 2016 Urban Echo Slam team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna do a flavor on that one. Wow.
So, yeah, full circle.
Wow, full circle. AK, go on, baby. Come up.
I feel, I love the storytelling here. And I know there's got to be a story on how the two of you met. And I would love to.
Go ahead.
Oh, let me lean back. Hold on. Let me switch up, lean back a little bit on this one. I'm gonna lean back on this one.
You want to tell it, Chris? You want me to tell it?
You go ahead and start it. Go ahead and start it off.
Okay, you fill in any cracks that's left. I have not always been the Omari that you see before you. So now I'm pretty peaceful in these days of my life. But I had beef with a couple dudes on the poetry scene, like real, like somebody could have died type beef.
Oh, the Kobe beef. I got you. Go ahead.
So one of the guys I had beef with, the guy that Untitled just referenced said tried to get him to come to his shows. The shows took place at this other guy's venue, right? So I had beef with the older guy, right? He's probably my age, around my age. And the beef was real ugly because he violated my mentee, and she's an amazing poet. Because she is she's part of the LGBTQ community, so he tried to press up on her in a very atrocious manner. And so I had words for him, and he didn't like it. So it wound up playing out on Facebook. Like, I sent a whole life-threatening letter to him and his homeboy that I was beefed out with, who used to be my homeboy. And yeah, like in hindsight, I probably could have went to jail for threatening their lives on Facebook in a post, like for all to see. It wasn't no edit button back then. Like what you wrote was what you wrote. So I had seen Untitled at a couple spots, but I didn't really know him like that, right? So one day, because Chris ain't the calm dude y'all think he is, Untitled could take it there too. So he was given a certain set of information about the beat. And let me know if I make any mistakes in this.
You want the money.
And he came into my inbox on some, like, I'm about to check you And we run into each other in public. So we start going at each other in the inbox, like on some beef, like I'ma see you, right? Like that kind of beef. And by the time we got through, I started breaking down to him the inconsistencies of the stories and giving him receipts. And he was like, oh shit, that's how the shit went down?
Yeah.
And by the end of that conversation, we was the best of friends.
Wow. Because the real recognize the real. Okay, got it.
Am I missing any key points? Am I missing any?
Verified. No, that's it. Like that conversation turned into like, what do you mean it doesn't make sense? Fill in what I'm missing. And then I was like, I'm missing more than I thought I was missing. Hold on. And like I said, I'm very much a trust but verify kind of person.
Yeah. I'm the same way, bro. Yeah, I could not, but man, that's a crazy story, man. Wow.
So that's
crazy.
Man,
like
we started out on some beef stuff, and now we brothers.
I
I
love
can see
that.
it now, Omari. Like what you say? No, brother, what you say? And it might not have sounded like that, but
like had this conversation happened in person, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. Like it probably just would have popped off, and because neither one of us was afraid of violence.
right. And that's a true man. We know what's going on, but honor among us is rare. And that's a perfect example of honor between two men. And a lot of people don't get that. People ain't built like that no more. They get all emotional. But that's honor between two men. I love that story.
Yeah. And he wasn't reaching out to me for clarity.
It was either catch wreck or give me my respect.
He was telling me to stand down.
I got you. Man, I got you on that. Oh, man. Well, I'm going to transition a little bit. We're going to get back to the question. Now the time is for the receipt. All right. So I'm going to go first with my receipt. So here's the part of the show we gave with the receipt. So in my last receipt I gave y'all, man, I showed you I used to play the trumpet. I was at Artist Collective. I played with a brother that was next to me, man, a non-melanated brother that's still my brother to this day. His name was, he has two brothers, man, they twins. One is named Doug Waddell and one is named Dave Waddell, right? They went on both from Hartford to play a professional football. Both of them played at Boston College, and they maintained their relationship with me through my military career all the way up until now. We are well in our 60s. So last year, he was checking on me, man, and he was seeing, I was in the poetry scene. He was seeing I doing this thing. He says, man, Crave, how you doing, man? They called me Big Crave back then. And so what he did was for me was send me his NFL player's jacket. Oh,
sweet. Oh, I remember them joints from the mid-90s.
Oh, wow.
His NFL signed. It's signed, man, by him.
Sweet.
I
always loved that jacket.
NFL player's jacket.
I used to want one of those.
Yeah.
This right here is definitely going to go on the wall. So I had to show my receipt of my brother, man. He played, man. He hadn't even worn this, man. And he signed it for me and gave it to me, man, because it was love like that. And he was Italian. You know how I go with them brothers, man. So he was Italian, but he was thorough. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Dave and Doug. Waddell, one played for the Denver Broncos. Another brother played for the Colts. And he played for Jacksonville. So this is my receipt, man. Official. I'm talking about leather, man. Real joint, baby. So that's my receipt right there. You know what I mean?
That's a classic joint.
So that's a classic. So now we're gonna go on to you, Omari. And what
I can't follow up the NFLP jacket, man. I can't.
I got some. You should have seen my receipt last week.
Yeah, you be killing me with the receipt.
I had original G.I. Joe in the box. Like 11 to 12, I think I was.
Man, I just gave away my whole comic book collection and unopened action figures. I gave them to my niece, though. I gave them to my niece.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
And
we
I-
gonna fight
And
on
they go back to the late 70s. So it was like unopened action figures and comic books.
Yeah,
But yeah, I gave the only books I didn't give her. I went through and picked out books that people gave to me as gifts. So the only ones I didn't give to her were gifts.
Facts.
Yeah. So this here, so immediately when I started my poetry career, I connected with Righteous and Rihanna, who are still like my brother and sister to this day. We wound up meeting Corey, also known as Hardcore, from St. Louis, but he lived in Detroit. And we met up Miss Tiffany, who was a Detroiter as well. We all met up in a poetry venue. Well, Righteous and I met. We used to play basketball at the park together. And then one night we were in a poetry spot and ran into each other. It was like, you do poetry? Like, you do poetry? It was that kind of deal.
Yeah.
So we went on to create this poetry collective managed by Dr. Khalid El Hakim, who also managed The Last Poets, my brother from college. He's also the founder of the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, which I'm one of the directors of. So we started a group called Third Eye Open. We were founded on Malcolm X's birthday and the founding date of The Last Poets. So that was symbolic for us. And we went on to do major things at universities, a lot of college, touring a lot of shows. We put out a CD that kind of changed the poetry world because it took off nationally, and no other poetry CDs was doing that back then. This is 2003, January 2003. We released it. So it just went crazy. And then there were other artists in Detroit that were inspired by us, and they went on and created music. And so one of our local non-mainstream papers, Metro Times, which is well known in this area, especially in a world that doesn't subscribe to mainstream type media, but more alternative type media, where it focuses on the grassroots, it focuses on the underground stuff, it focuses on the people. So they did this article. Let me see if I can y'all see that?
Wow. Yeah.
Yes.
Connect with Detroit. Yeah.
Can you see me and my group over on the side?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him.
The young face. Let me see.
We see you.
Yeah.
We see you, man.
Yeah. So this was a Metro. This is a this is Connect Detroit, not Metro Times, but they're in the same vein. So yeah. So we were also in Metro Times. I thought I pulled the Metro Times one out, but I pulled this one out. So yeah. So that was that was all over Detroit, and it was a free. It's a free publication. So I had people calling me every day, like, "Yo, I just picked up this article. I saw you on the cover." So it was dope. It was our first big media blast.
Wow, man. Woo.
Yeah.
Okay. AK,
Great times.
Okay, so you want my receipt or you want?
Either one, baby. Go however. Yeah, I want to see your receipt. That's what I want to see. And I want to see Entitled.
All right, so my receipt this week, let me see if I can get you to see it, is this. This is my dad when he was in the military. And these are some of his military partners.
Wow.
And so this picture is old, like, oh my gosh.
Which one is your dad?
My dad's the one in the middle.
In the middle? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the cool cat in the middle.
The cool cat. Yeah.
Military was his livelihood. Like, that's all he talked about. It was all over our house. I have all of his yearbooks from each year that wherever he was in service at. I have all of those. Like, he kept, no matter what room you went in, you were gonna see something about the military, even in the kitchen. Okay.
Yeah.
He was so proud of just his time in the military. I often wonder what he would think about the military today. If he was still living today, but he spent 26 years in the military. And so, yeah.
Man, that's beautiful.
Was he in Vietnam?
He was in Vietnam. He was in Korea. That's where he got me. He adopted me from Korea. I would have to go through some of his other books, but yes, he was in Vietnam as well.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
That's what's up.
That's beautiful, man.
I didn't know you were adopted.
Yes.
I didn't know that whole story that you just dropped like real quickly and briefly. Like, you adopted me from Korea. That's like a major epic story, you know?
Yeah, that's the current, bro.
Adopted from Seoul, Korea. That's the Southern and the Soul. It's EOUL.
Yes. Oh, man, that's beautiful.
Was he already married? Was he married at that point?
He was married. Matter of fact, my mom.
This is beautiful, man.
I can show you her. My adopted mother.
That's amazing. That's an amazing story. Hold on, let me do it.
Oh, man.
All right, Fly, Miss Fly.
Yep. She light bright with gray eyes.
Mm.
She had the most stunning gray eyes.
And they lived in Texas. Look, I'm interviewing you now.
They actually lived in South Bend, Indiana.
Okay.
So when my dad found me in a Catholic church. They were doing some mission work over there. The military were helping the Catholic Church because they had, I guess, some issues there. So the military was going there to help them. And he came across me. My adopted mother couldn't have kids. So he saw me and instantly wanted to bring me home. And they had their choice. I was 18 months home once all of the paperwork was finalized. I was about 6 months old when he found me. But there was also a 4-year-old little boy that they were trying to get him to adopt, who could play the piano and all of that. And he was like, nah, I want her. So I was chosen.
Okay.
That's
a great story.
Oh, man, that's right. Boy, y'all. Woo. Okay, yeah. I get virtual hug for that one. All right, so I need to see Untitles.
Okay, this is Untitles.
Wow.
Can you see it?
All right, break it down, bro. Break it down.
So on the left is a painting by a gentleman named Sheefy McFly Turner, and on the right is a painting by a gentleman named Phil Simpson.
Yeah, Phil.
And, those are two pieces of the 34 pieces of art that I have in my house.
Oh, wow.
Of which only 5 are prints or not originals from actual Detroit artists. And
Love that, man.
that's really important to me and a reminder for myself because number one, I'm an artist. Number two, that's a group of my peers that are continuing a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I always want to remember, number one, where I came from, number two, what I support, and number three, what I'm working to keep alive. Like that's my driving force. I so happen to live in it repeatedly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's always on my mind.
And so
And
those
it's beautiful.
pieces are original pieces, you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that artist on the left, Sheef, also known as Sheefy McFly.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, he is the next coming of Basquiat.
Come on.
Like that.
Yeah.
And he started out as like a little rapper dude, you know.
Yeah.
And he still raps.
Skateboard kicks, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's dope.
Oh, man. Wow, man. That's a crazy receipt. And here it is now. We're talking about legacy, right? And supporting artists. You guys definitely bring the Detroit on the level of consistency as far as keeping forward the culture. And what I'm mindful of now, Omari, is this. How important is that what Untitled said? Especially y'all coming from the D, man. You know, coming from the D, understanding that whole history by how impactful Detroit is. Now let me give y'all a little sidebar. The hardest brothers I ever fought in my life. I'm gonna tell you something now. This is what I'm gonna break it down. Any cat from my hood, the North End of Hartford, Connecticut, they was official. Any dude from Philly, any dude from Philly, and a cat from Detroit, East St. Louis, or somewhere like that, those were some of the hardest hitting cats I've ever seen before in my life. This brother was from 7th Mile, I believe he was, and he was in the military with me over there. I don't know what it is about the brothers in the D. I don't know what it is, but you ain't gonna come as soon as you crack your lip to say whatever. He gonna say, "No, shorty, that ain't what it is, short. No, that ain't what." He throwing his hand. He did not play. He did not play. He always wore a Tigers hat. You know what I'm saying? He always wore the Tigers hat. Don't ask me why. I thought the D was really small. That's why I never rock them. You know that the D never came out. The emblem never came out for me. But now I got to get a Detroit hat and homage on my boy. But with the hardest dudes I ever had any problem with was from those areas. But here's the question. How important is that? Y'all coming from where y'all coming from, the soul. I'm talking about the soul of music, the soul of culture, the soul of ingenuity, engineering, all of that. How important is Untitled right now? How important is that for you to keep doing that and bring it for the culture of Detroit? How powerful is that?
I think it's foundational. I think it's foundational not just for the community, but for the country. If you go back and you look historically, like what Detroit has contributed to the world, it's music, it's the cars, but it's so much beyond that. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, dumbasses is in war, but we make the tanks here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, we there's so much in Detroit. One of the first black presses for poetry is from here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so that being the case, you come up in a legacy of build it and continue it. I think that that's just automatically passed down.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one in my family was ever like, go do this or think about it like this. That's just the way we are to me.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. Omari, I already know.
Woo! Yeah, so first off, I got to tell you, I have vision issues, and the one eye I can see out of right now is giving me trouble. So if y'all see me looking away or looking up,
I understand, brother.
I don't. Yeah.
Do your thing.
So important is a funny word in this context because it's almost like it's not important. It just is. You know what I mean? Like it's like, if you ask an earthworm and it could talk how important the soil is.
Oh, come on, that's good. That's a bar.
It probably could tell you if it thought about it, but it probably would just, initial thought is, it just is, right? We were born into this. It was an inheritance. And I guess from that standpoint, it's important. The fact that it's an inheritance, Black Bottom Detroit, which I live in Black Bottom Detroit right now. Mm-hmm. If anybody knows the history, if you don't, please look it up. We talk about Black Wall Street a lot. It's important that we add Black Bottom and all these other places, Lake Rainier and so many other places, to these narratives and these stories, because they shaped us in this country, right? In a lot of ways. After this country was, after this land was stolen and created into corporations, so on and so forth, it had to shape. It shaped how we adapted. Detroit is symbolic of Black folks being able to adapt to whatever white America throws at us.
Say that.
When you look at manufacturing, it reached its heights because of Black folks, and not just Black folks that were already in Detroit, but the up north movement, where people moved from the South and migrated in droves to come up and work for the plants, because that was, at that point, pretty much the greatest opportunity for Black folks in the country. Mm-hmm. Even though we got paid a small fraction of what the white people got paid in the factories. Mm-hmm. It created a Black middle class. It created Black academic empowerment zones, you know. It was, if I walk out my door right now and look across the street, there's a school that used to be Miller High School, which was the only school Black students in Black Bottom, Detroit could go to. The building I live in right now, there used to be an apartment building here. That's where John Witherspoon grew up, right? The comedian, Pops. Mm-hmm. The rich culture and history of Black Bottom, the rich culture and history of Black farming in this area, the culture of music and entertainment, and not just entertainment, but refinement of entertainment, right? Yeah. So when you see me working hard to help poets refine their craft, I grew up as a Motown baby. I worked in Kendrick's record store, Eddie Kendrick's brother. And I would hear the Motown cats. They would all come in there while I was sweeping the floor. Mm-hmm. The value and how they would talk about developing artists, right? Mm-hmm. Stage performance, stage presence, what the difference is. So I wanted to carry that forth in the poetry, not just in Detroit, but in general. Because I believe it's up to us to cultivate each other, right? But most off it's important because who wants to be the one that drops the ball on legacy?
Say that again, man. Come on, say that again.
Who wants to be the one that drops the ball on legacy? I never want to be that guy, right? So it's important to me that I know the history, I honor the history, I promote the history, but most of all, I take the fruit of history and work to apply it to the present and the future.
Yeah, that's, oh man. I want to segue to AK a minute, but I got to add on to that question. So just briefly speak on, Omari, about the legacy of history and that project that you have in that museum real quick. Because I think they need to know that. And then AK will bring it on with our next question. Please, sir.
So this is the 31st anniversary of the Black History 101 Mobile Museum. It's our 21st year traveling with the museum out of state and doing a lot of exhibits. We probably do well over 70 exhibits a year, mostly at universities in K through 12. We have over 11,000 artifacts in our archives. Each exhibit is about 200 pieces or so. And we create themes that we want to impress upon our audiences for that particular year. So for example, one year we had the 3 M's, that's Michael, Motown, and Martin Luther King. And we talked about how they were all interwoven. How Berry Gordy produced, one of Martin Luther King's albums, which was the first his march in Detroit, which was the first time he did I Have a Dream speech, right? That happened right here on Woodward Avenue. There was the test run before it went to DC. So it wasn't intended to be a test run, but it wound up being a test run.
Right.
So with the museum, we noticed that a lot of folks had Black artifacts, but a lot of the folks in the country that had Black artifacts were white folks. And they were misusing them. They were using them for the wrong reasons. So we wanted to make sure we could collect as much as we can and preserve them. We don't sell artifacts. We may sell some in the future, but only when we have 3 or 4 versions or copies. We wanted to preserve what was rare.
Mhm.
We wanted to preserve what wasn't considered mainstream knowledge. So while you go to your class during Black History Month, you see a lot of Rosa Parks, Dr. King, civil rights. You know, now they might talk about Harriet Tubman or Malcolm X, but very few limited people and movements are referenced during Black History Month. But we want to give the students a broader view of Black history. We want to show them names they didn't know, show them things they didn't know happened. And that's why it's important to us, because our story keeps getting wiped out. And we want to make sure, once again, that we're not dropping the ball on legacy. It's not going to get wiped out under our watch.
That's the facts. And I see that.
Yeah. So Dr. Khalid El Hakim, Brother Victor Muhammad, Professor Griff, and myself make up, and also Khalid's wife, daughter, and my niece, Monique. We make up the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, and we travel year round with it.
And how do people get in touch with you in case, man? And listen to what he said now. How do people get in touch? I need to put that in there now so that people can know. If they want the mobile museum to come to, let's say, Mobile, Alabama, or to Houston, Texas, or whatever this being viewed at, man. If you want this museum, this brother's about to tell you what's happening. So go ahead, Omari. Tell him how to do that, bro.
Yeah, you could reach out to me at Omari, that's Omari, Omari Poetry at gmail.com. Or you can reach me at Omari Barksdale on Facebook or Instagram. Just send me a direct or message or inbox. It's Omari Barksdale, Barksdale.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. AK, go and give him some flow, baby, because I see right there you went out, and I'm so glad you're back. Yeah, you know, life be life, and I know life be life.
People don't understand. If I have declined your call 6 times, that means stop calling.
Go ahead, it's on you, baby. It's on you.
But and it threw me off on my question. But I guess the question I want to ask is, and then this is leading up to what you have going on, Omari. How important is it if you want to be in poetry, if you want to advance in poetry? How important is it to grow in poetry, not just grow as far as hitting open mics or trying to get features, but how important is it to grow in your craft, and in what ways can you do so? So that is my question.
Yeah. Can I pass that to Untitled, and then I'll cover anything else beyond what he says?
Most definitely.
So I feel as if this goes towards anything that you find a love for doing. There is a certain amount of time on task that you're gonna invest in it. There's a certain amount of study that you're gonna invest in it already, because it is that important for people to say otherwise. You know, like, think about fishing, right? Like, anybody can go out there with a pole, but when you enjoy fishing, you got to get the right pole, the right line, the right bait. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to the right spot. And I think art is the same way. There may not necessarily be a right or wrong, but there's an amount of understanding that you have from, this is what's worked in the past. This is why it's worked in the past. Here's, the components that make something good for an audience or good for a reader. And you have to study and understand those things. That would be like saying, I'll put it like this. The difference between a 5-year-old and Picasso is not the love of what they created.
Woo, come on, man. Oh,
you better tell somebody.
Well, Woo!
You see where I passed it to him?
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know if AK was finished, if she had another part to it, but I gotta interject here, Omari, before you even go there. This was my first impression of Entitled.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, Omari? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I build with Omari. I call Omari on the phone just for conversation. Hey, bro, give me $5. You got $5? Man, I ain't got that type of relationship I got with him. You know what I'm saying? And when I heard Untitled, that was the expression of what he just said.
Yeah.
When I first heard this, brother, I said, who is this brother? And it was, see, and you're listening, and you know, I'm an active listener. You know, shout out to Russ, man. You know, active listening will get you to appreciate these things of ours so much better. But go ahead, Omari. I know you're on the front of the seat.
I'm sorry if I cut Kim off. Did you have another part, Kim? I'm sorry. I jumped right in.
No. I want to hear what you
just
got
making sure. Yeah, I was trying to make sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Omari. Go ahead.
I mean, I just kind of want to. Yeah. First off, I echo what Untitled said. You know, but what I want to say is we have to realize how important art is to the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we think about how important art is to the people, and we want to maintain a good symbiotic relationship with the people, we have to put the time into our craft to develop it. We can't assume because we like our own work that it is stage ready or page ready.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might be for us, but honestly, if we want people to appreciate it or buy it, which is why we put it out, then we have to do our due diligence to make sure it's effective and it's quality. Mm-hmm. And I think that one of the mistakes artists make is they watch poets on YouTube and try to move like them and sound like them.
Facts.
But their substance and their structure and their skill level and their nuances and dynamics aren't like those poets. Mm-hmm. It's easy to look at a thing because somebody else makes it look easy and you do it and think it is easy. But then you come crashing down the moment you find out because you thought you made it look easy or you thought it was easy. You might get embarrassed trying to do it, right? So do your due diligence to develop. Never do anything at a basic level. Always, like I'm 52. I've been on the mic consistently. Well, I shouldn't say consistently. I've been on the mic a lot since 1999 rather, especially since 2001. And I'm still looking for workshops to get into.
Yeah.
I give workshops, but I'm looking for workshops to participate in. I don't care if I get one little bitty thing out of that workshop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it can add to what I am as an artist and my ability to get through a poem, construct a poem, or teach somebody else, I'm going to go to that workshop. Yep.
Yeah, that's man.
I do the same thing. I try to make as many workshops as I can. Unfortunately, I can never catch yours because you always doing when I have something going on. I'll be killing myself. I'm like, but I am going to make sure I get to one of yours.
But Jambalaya Soul, if you follow them on Facebook, Jambalaya Soul takes one Monday out of every month. I can't remember which Monday it is.
Okay.
But they take one Monday out of every month and they do a free online workshop. And that's run by Desan Ahanu. And they do one a month with different instructors each time.
I think you sent me that one once and I wasn't able to make it.
Now that's not an Urban Echo thing, but that's my brother and that's his thing. And you know,
I'm definitely gonna have to.
If you sit through 3 workshops, you're gonna find an instructor that really probably is for your style. You know,
I have been crafting myself under Black Chakra, so I've been doing workshops and classes with him for almost a year now. So
I mean, he aight.
No, can't take my joint.
He be fussing at me. He be fussing at
took
me.
my
Come on.
joint.
Nah,
I don't know
that's
why you
my
don't
that's my
slam.
guy. Right?
I don't know why you don't slam, and I'm going, huh? What?
Yeah, that's my guy right there. He's
He's
dope.
amazing. And he's good at conveying and pulling out of you what you need to improve yourself. So
I
that's
probably need to sit at his feet too. Like I want to sit at everybody's feet.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Now
Stephen Willis, Ephraim Nehemiah, Ayanna Florence, who we got coming here to Detroit.
I've had
next week.
workshops with Tamani Brain.
Yeah.
I was under him for about 6 months. Yes.
Yeah, I want to sit at everybody's feet. I want to sit there like I ain't never learned a thing about poetry.
Yeah.
Man,
so when people ask me and they tell me they can see my growth, it's because of those 3 people right there: Tamani Rain, Black Chakra, Ephraim Nehemiah. Yeah.
I'm just saying. Go ahead, baby.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The other part to that was why. So in growing in our craft, right, and in getting better, there are so many poets out here who don't realize that when they turn to AI, people can tell. What message would you give those poets?
Come on, Untitled. Come on, Omari. Come on, Omari. Come on.
Go ahead.
Come on. I got to hear this, Lord. This is it. You don't worry about the time. Don't worry about the time.
We got this.
We got this. We got the time. Don't worry about it. Come on. Whoever want to jump on it, because I'm waiting for this one. I'm at the fence. I'm at the fence barking. You know, my chain is full. You know the dog that do the he do. Yeah, come on, please.
Because I almost said a lot of curse words, so I'm getting myself together.
It's good.
So, Untitled, you go, and then
I mean, you know me, like I get to saying the wrong thing real quick. So here's my thought on AI. Number one, stop it because you plagiarize.
Come on.
As AI exists, there is nothing artificial or intelligent about it other than the order in which it compiles information. Otherwise, all it does is regurgitate something that someone else already created in a different format. Don't know that. Number one. Number two, computers don't feel, and that's what the hell art is. You can't you sound stupid, trust me. Like, it's certain music that you listen to right now that's not AI, that you don't enjoy, that the music industry is putting out right now or has put out in the past that you don't like because there's no emotion in it. Don't nobody want to hear that. And you can't fake that. Like, I see it on stage sometimes, and sometimes I'll be sitting in the audience going, that didn't happen. So just don't be that person. And I know that was mean or not proper, but that's just my opinion.
Nah, I don't think there is a proper thing to say not proper or mean.
So tag for the top rope. Here it come, yo. Here it come.
If you're a poet, or I don't know if I can call you a poet at that point if you're using AI for your poetry, fuck your life. Because this is something that true artists and lovers of the craft and lovers of the history of the craft pour our hearts into and go all out to be successful in our writings, not in our careers, in our individual writings. We try to have success every time we pen a new poem. And we're pulling from a lot within and externally and putting it together meticulously. Because we want the most genuine product that we can produce, so we can give it to the world with a nice, beautiful bow attached to it and say, this is our gift to you. We're not taking shortcuts. We're not, there are a few poets, including Jessica Caremore, that have discovered that AI was using some of their full sentences in there, and in creating poems from others' prompts.
What?
So there are people on stage spitting poems, and they got 5 or 6 other poets' lines that they don't even realize AI stole from those poems and put into the ones they prompted for.
Crazy.
Right. So you might be on a mic somewhere spitting a poem, and that poet whose line got stolen, you didn't realize it because you ain't admitting that you're using AI. They walk up to you after the show like, why is my line in your phone? And then you're legally liable. Right? But it's almost like Monsanto.
Come on.
It doesn't have any real life. It doesn't have, whatever life and essence and nutrients are in that poem came from something that was pulled from somebody else's creative works. So, but also, I like AI, but I use AI in a very limited way. I don't use heavy AI that really, the more heavier AI stuff is really leaning on these data farms, which is really heavily leaning onto our universal water system.
Come on.
So I'm limited in how much I use AI and the weight of the AI I do use, because I don't want to much contribute to the destruction of our water systems. Right now, the universal water system is bankrupt, meaning there is less healthy water available than there is tainted water. And it's just getting worse and worse with these data farms. Utah just built a data farm that's the size of 3,000 Walmarts. So we have to really be conscious of how it's affecting us artistically or creatively, socially, ecologically, and spiritually. So I think there's something that in that AI that's devoid of spirit. And that's what I'm most careful about.
And that's beautiful. And like me, I ain't gonna front. I use AI for the etymology of words, man. And I have to sometimes because I don't want to sit and say, crack and whack, and then I say arcane, and then somebody don't know what the word arcane means, and it's mysterious.
But that's what I mean by light use. That's light usage, unless you're doing it like all day, every day.
No, I cannot do that because y'all know me. You know my poetry, Omari, man. If AI write like that, then I need to go sit down.
Yeah.
Now AI can't write like you. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying it to boast. I'm just saying.
No, I know, but you have a certain style.
Yeah, I'm saying if it do that, I'm cool with it because that means I'm with the ancestors somewhere. But I like the etymology of words, man. And we gonna.
But there's an etymology dictionary. That's a couple etymology dictionaries online. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I need to get that. You need to give me that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And I heard that too.
And that just, it's basic, especially information. But and here's the thing about poets. Guess who the first knowers of information were? Poets. People who were symbiotic to the culture. People who were elevated enough in their consciousness to say, this is the history of Untitled and Omari, and this is the history of blah, 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 and so eloquently put in a language and a culture that culture can feel.
That was the true griots.
How did we mess that up?
Those were the true griots.
How we do this, Untitled?
Yeah.
How do we do that, bro? And then we got people that I see it all the time, and I'm gonna say it. I'll call you out every time. You sit there and then you spit something you know it ain't yours. You know it ain't yours. And we sitting back, Omari, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that was a dope piece." No, I'm not telling you that was a dope piece. I'm not gonna do that. Untitled.
It was dope for the one who wrote it. It was dope for the one who wrote it. Yeah.
It was dope for the one who wrote it, but this is a sacred thing about it.
But listen, there's so much power in the pen, and I'm gonna tell you a moment where Howard lives. With Untitled and I listening to Miss Lady do a poem in Russ Livingston's room the other day on Clubhouse.
Yes.
And we were just blown away by it. Like, I literally told Untitled immediately, it's probably one of the top 5 poems I ever heard in my life.
Oh yeah, yeah. She got some now. She got some.
I don't believe something like that could be created by AI.
It cannot. It will not. She will
You know?
never use that. I already know. She's beyond anything. Her and they beyond. They somewhere in the 9th realm of the planet Zarthon 7 of the constellation of Myodosis 9. You know, that's where she at. You know, and that's real, man. And here's where we're transitioning to talk about mentorship and what is true mentorship. I have been mentored by Omari myself, vicariously through just wanting to listen. I can remember being in one of his workshops, Untitled, and I took one line, and I think it was an Obsidian.
Yeah.
It's like that. And man, Omari just said, man, where'd you get that from? I said, man, it just came to me. He said, man, write from that line only. Write from that line. And that has doubled my productivity as far as getting it finished. And what people don't understand as us as poets, it may flow out for maybe 6 minutes. After them 6 minutes is up, you thinking, you need to throw that thing, whatever you writing on, you need to put it in the corner somewhere, because that means you're forcing it.
Yeah.
And I've learned through listening to my brother Omari Barksdale that what's important is my word that I'm focusing on, that I need you to hear. I've learned that. But I've also learned that it's no need to speak it if I don't trust it. And if I don't trust it, I can't give it out, because, you know, it's just a line. If you don't stand Untitled, like, I can't trust it. And I say this all the time, and I know Omari be bugging, but I treat my poems like, you know, they work for me on the corner, and I don't want to, you know, not anything like that, but I do. That's why you won't hear a certain poem for a while. You won't hear it from me, and I'll just do it. But I have to, because I don't marry them after that. They ain't no good to me after that. I understand what an artist does and be like, oh, you want the old stuff? You know, I can understand Prince or somebody saying, no, y'all don't want the new stuff. No, man, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Untitled, like, they want, you know what I'm saying? So he's playing, and, you know, just when, like, Jimi Hendrix, I like it in Hendrix, you know, when he was just doing the acoustic stuff, they was like, man, I don't want to hear that. But that was some of his best work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he's playing acoustic guitar, those some of them off albums, the stuff that you don't hear. That's the things that I want to do. I want to do those things that challenge me, you know, as a poet. So I don't want to, man, I want to just keep going. I want to keep it moving, but I want to get into some spaces, man, where I hear from y'all, man. And Untitled, you know, this is Afterglow Sundays, brother. This is Crossfade Commons. This is the current. And so if you got a piece now that you want to spit, you and Omari, it's a good time to get it in here, because this thing has taken off. So I'm going to breathe and relax a minute, and I want the people to feel what is Untitled. I want them to know what Entitled is. I know what Entitled is, but here's the thing. Now, this is what I'm going to do. This is a disclaimer. This first one is free. The next one, y'all going to have to pay for. I'm just saying. This one free. So Entitled, the stage is yours, man. Take your time, bro.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, take your time, man. And while we're doing that, Omari, you know what it is. You know, if you need to get a drink of water and everything, but I got to hear from you too, brother. And if you got something, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to try to help out and put a little something on it. And then we're going to segue onto a couple of more questions. And then we're going to be getting out of here, man. So I thank y'all for your time, y'all. I thank y'all for the audience. Shout out to everybody who's in the comments. I believe there's a question I definitely want to read from a guest. I'm going to make sure AK gets that out too after these poems, man, because we need to get it out. If we run over a little bit, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I got carte blanche today. So that's what it is. But anyway, the Entitled, it's yours, man.
All right. So this is called Sky Full of Poison. And I wrote this at the beginning of July. The sky glows sunset yellow-orange like a dusty painting on dingy canvas through squinted eyes. Your nose is full of windy day bonfire, the air hay fever thick, stuffy and humid like sweating through a rain-soaked shirt after thunderstorms pass, and you still have to turn the meat on the grill. Everyone talks with a tickle on the back of their tongues that seems to choke revolution from American voices, same as social media does our words, an algorithm in silence, loud as a Palestinian heartbeat as the whole world burns for the glory of small men with fragile egos, insatiable appetites, and a knack for causing chaos while the ground soaks up blood like dirty rain. This collapse has the texture of cowhide and metal stud, of harsh and abrasive like divine chastisement, or bondage bound by the belt, waiting at home for the note in the bottom of your backpack, a report card where every country has something to teach, then test, a lesson, a moral, our morale. The grades reflect the plummet of a theme park ride's first drop. My stomach lurches in unison, the screams, quiet as a thrill ride's photo in a water-damaged yearbook lying, forgotten in a box left dusty in the corner where I hear a whisper of truth and the news that is whitewashed by white supremacists for white nationalists. We speak the same language, but we don't share the same vernacular. I wish I could ask the founding fathers at pistol point on their knees, subjugated to the God of their own amendments, if 250 years of independence celebrated was testament to the tribulation and tyranny history hides. It's the American way, right? America ain't never been free. Violence always has a cost. We emancipate the proof in our own words to solve problems like answers at the back of your math book. And injustice anywhere is an injustice for some. It all adds up until we start subtracting people. Tear my veins like children from the arms of immigrant families. Do I not bleed the same as you, a country of Christians better off baptized for 9 minutes and 29 seconds, melting pot turned cauldron of corruption, a preening president, always crying about a witch hunt? Well, let's have one. You bring the river, I will bring the rocks. There are national parks and monuments waiting on their retribution, like Salem's Sarah Good, executed for being homeless, still haunts us. It is time we exorcise these demons. Maybe this isn't America at all, but our own hell. A handmade inferno like Dante's abandonment of hope, a promise, the vengeance of a wounded mother smothering her children against her bosom, amending the flaws of what she birthed from a womb full of wishes that withered under a sweltering summer sun, and the sky full of poison.
Come on.
Yes, sir. That's what he does.
Oh my gosh.
I'm speechless, man.
That's what he does.
I'm gonna leave it up to you, Omari. Then I'll give y'all whatever.
When they say won't he do it, someone was talking about Untitled.
Yeah.
You funny, coach.
That's what it is, man. Omari, it's on you, baby. Do your thing.
All right. So because of the energy of this poem, I'm gonna make one request, Crave, and that is to pause the music.
Okay.
If that's okay, I hope I'm not violating the.
No. If we can get our production team, man, to kind of bring it down just a little bit. Yeah.
I wonder if I were born not a slave, would my fingers feel softer like the cotton I pick? Like massive little lily white children's fingers that have never touched a struggle ever before. I touched a woman with these fingers. She's the most beautiful thing the sun ever made. I say the sun because this God that white folks speak of seems to be nothing more than the fumbling of their imagination. Either that or this God only exists when white folks want something. I touched this woman. He let me. I touched her like I have never touched a woman before. My fingers and hands were what they said was like stone forged in a heaven full of husk of cotton, ripe for the picking. She told me that Master's fingers are too soft and creepy and pale, haunting fingertips, she said, with palms of a fresh corpse. And I believe her. We see a lot of dead bodies where we are from. We get jealous of them. Sometimes the overseer leaves them be right there where they swallowed their last slave breath. They finally get to rest. I wonder if they are in this heavenly place. I wonder what their fingerprints are like. I wonder if they get to be white now. And I wonder if God actually does exist. Does he accept them into the brotherhood? Or do they still carry silver trays with black sunburned fingertips? I wonder if God has whip crackers in heaven. What does a slave do after death? Are we only meant to haunt plantation limbo and never be free, even after the nigger in us no longer lives? Or we just be ghosts, serving and shucking and jiving, jigaboo entertainment for a Jesus who never designed us a salvation. He clearly did not intend to save anyone with skin darker than that of a wilted magnolia. I don't want to die a slave, but I don't want to live as a slave any more than I don't want to die as one. If I die today, in fact, as a slave, I have a chance that beyond this place, I can go somewhere where sweet tea, where there's sweet tea and good eating. I can touch a woman who desires to be touched by me with her finger without flinching because of memories of molesting white phalanges. I'll take death and hope it doesn't come equipped with white gloves and serving trays. I hope there's a God, not because I need salvation, but because it's time that someone told him about himself and demand that he ask for forgiveness for letting these savages force us to live in hell. Today, I declare that either I will die or that white man in that big house will. Or maybe we will both die together so I can drag him with me and make him my slave when I get to nigger heaven.
Man, y'all just show your love in the comment. I'm gonna do a piece for both of y'all, man, because y'all inspired me. Untitled Omari. This one is called Superheroes, because both of you brothers are definitely my superheroes. Superhero. Like Luke Cage, enraged bullets bounce off melanated skin. Born in the belt of Orion, middle star mission of deliverance born during the 7 moons of blackness. As whirling dervish maneuvers with penmanship, evil lurks when ears don't get touched. From the famine of all the whackness, Justice League full of infantry fatigue of the mind, melt of mental ease. I can't see them infinity stones. Those elements are small like dots on the green screen. You see, I'm father of a Metatron. My mother from Africa when it floated above the firmament like before time bent. My kryptonite is blank pages that our arch enemies spawn as my cousins, so watch the false evidence. And I'm proud of these colossal proverbs and revelation of the scrolls, and my hideout is inside out. And I blended in with aliens, the kind like Andre 3000 talked about. Sun coded in my calls, and the shadows run from the hills before the cosmos was named. Played asteroids with angels and reasons as they appeared. You see, I'm of lineage of the first 24 elders. That's my first alliance. Now I live among you, and you don't even notice. For the learning purposes, so that your mind can decode it, my fantastic four is wisdom and honor and power. and energy. Combine them all in a word tsunami, covering the planet from astral slavery. And my first time seeing my sister planet, I couldn't even recognize it from the memory bank. Caused every villain has a mind of doubt, thought it was the death ground, because manipulating the data, that's what they all about. So every tombstone became a story. So with my eye, I see a whole lot of dry bones, and I use this cloak and data like Crave the hunter, a little darker. So I peek to the park, and those webs they use, they put on your dollar. And my theme music is devotion, because I need to bless the children. Now I teach them secretly by Morse code and only 144 megahertz of frequency from the mood ring when I open it. And I know you counted me out like the underdog, but this phone book transfer because I'm under God, brother of Sun Tzu, where the blueprint is honored. I see all of them buried with the purple herbs, panther to the black with the Killmonger song. Make sure it's heard, and I keep that on my chest. Whispers to the book of Timothy and the ghosts to make them Patrick Swayze, and the cowards, they just run for cover. So now Lex Luthor's in the White House. Forgive the reminder, man. Inoculation for immunization of all the player hating saves the Goliath for David. I'm down with Storm and Raven and the Academy of these word saviors. So please, kinfolk, repel that Dr. No or live and let die. And don't let this 007 verse don't cry with the character of the spy in comic books that you might want to visualize. This here's the bubble until the next episode resides. Big Crave, man, I love y'all, man. Y'all clap it up for Omari. Y'all clap it up for the Untitled.
Yeah, that was dope, bro.
Hey, look, man, clap it up for him. Oh man, y'all, I can just go on and on about what this real poetry is, man, but that's y'all are my superheroes. I want y'all to be aware of this thing here as we do, and I need to get to that one question before we kind of wind this thing down. We might go over a little bit. Throughout this interview, I've learned several things. I've learned that the power of community, the power of structure, and the power of honor among us in this culture is one of the most important things we can do as people, period. And you've witnessed today just two, along with my co-hosts, who are very passionate about this thing and what we do. Now, it's no way that you can watch this and not have a different perspective on how you do what you do. It's no way. And I want to say this before I get to the final comments and all of that I'm honored. And my honor as this, I take it like Holy Samurai. If you know anything about me, man, that's what I am. And I truly believe that there's a Lazarus syndrome over the poetic community. So I'm just here to roll away the stone, you know, and you need to take those grave clothes off and listen to what these brothers, if you got to watch this again, please do. If you need to follow these brothers, please do. You know, urban echo poetry. I think we need to be, you know, before you get out of here Untitled, please make sure you say that about that. But Omari, I thank you for just your presence, your power in the culture, and the power for what you stand on, because that means a lot, and especially to me. And I'm honored. The final thing I'm going to, before I segue into AK giving her question and her thoughts, and then I go to you two, and then we're going to kind of narrow this in. So AK, what was that question, sweetie, that someone had that you really wanted to get out? And I want to make sure to do that. But I had to say my thank yous and get them in there, y'all, before we got out.
No, you good. Because I want to say thank you as well. This was an amazing conversation. I have thoroughly enjoyed you both. It was good to know more about you, Untitled. And Omari, you know I love me some you. I absolutely love me some you.
Feeling is mutual.
So the question comes from our favorite youth poet, EDJ.
Okay.
And her question is, I think it's a very powerful question. Her question is, how do you deal with people who disrespect Black culture? And it's a two-part question. And how do you truly respect Black culture? So how do you deal with those who disrespect it? And how do you deal with, and how do you respect it? And if you
You
want
want
to
to take
divide
that?
it up and one take one and one take the other, that's fine.
For me, a lot of the time, because I try to be non-confrontational, because I have moments. I usually try my best to turn the other cheek. I really, really do. I be trying sometimes, but sometimes like you just gotta lash out and nip that shit in the bud, man. Like sometimes you like some things you just can't let slide because slopes are slippery. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how to embrace it, I think like the funny thing is, I think a better question would be how not to be a vulture within the culture. Because embracing a culture is like, we're taught to embrace cultures. You know what I'm saying? Like, you learn it in school, you learn it in business, you learn it, like, you're embracing everywhere. It's not the embracing that becomes different. It's the stealing from and the double standards that come from taking from a culture with nothing to give back and not wanting to give credit.
Yeah.
Which is something else that needs to be talked about a lot more amongst all cultures, not just Black.
Definitely.
Oh man.
Definitely.
Woo.
So as we're getting close to a close, I want to thank you, Angel Kim, you, Big Crave, and Miss Lady for hosting us on this format. I love all three of you. I respect you. I love your work. You're always something to look forward to in the poetry world. So I thank you for all that you do beyond just having us on here, but all of the things that, you know, each of you do. Now, to answer the question, my answer for both parts of the questions is the same. And it's the same thing that I wake up with every day. And that is how to be more positive, more excellent, more brilliant, and more powerful in my Black. Right. So if I'm dealing with someone who's disrespectful to Black culture, my Blackness, because it's so embedded and refined within me, my Blackness tells me how to respond at that moment. It could be a heightened response. It could be a more chill response, but I let my Blackness guide me on how to address it, or if it needs to be addressed. Because sometimes just me being my Black makes that disrespect that particular person presented look so small that I don't need to address it. Right. But on the positive scale, how do I embrace it? I embrace it in the mirror. Everything else goes from there. Right. I embrace it in looking at my amazing family. And I know everybody is not blessed to have the kind of family I have. So I don't mean that to make it sound easier than it is. I was blessed on both sides of my family to have amazing family. And an amazing extended family through my brother and sister's family. And all families work well together. So I have kind of a cheat code in that way. But starting with the mirror, going into research, and loving what I see from our history and from my own image. That's how I embrace it.
Woo.
I
love that, man. I love that. What are you gonna say, Untitled?
I was just saying, I love the question.
Yeah, I think that's the future of this. Now notice now where it came from, y'all. Listen, this came from the future of this thing of ours, asking a question because she deals with it. So it must be something that she's cognitive of. There's something that she's aware of. And this is the future. And that's Miss Lady's daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? How impactful this is. So what we're doing here is very impressionable. And she is definitely going to have that. Now, before I get to my last thing, and I'm going to turn it over to AK, and then she's going to segue to y'all, giving the information. What is the next question that you have for the next guest from Entitled and Omari Barksdale? Because I got to write this down. So go slow. I'm 61, so I got y'all by a couple. You got to write slow for I got to write slow. So what is the next question that you have for the next guest? And it can be whatever that question is. Whatever it is, Omari, Untitled, either one.
So I'm gonna say a question I asked I created a documentary of Detroit poetry, and in the documentary I asked each poet this one question: what is your poetry superpower?
Okay, I got it. All right, Untitled. What's your next question for the guest, baby boy?
In 20 years, what is the legacy of your words going to be?
Woo, in 20 years, what is the legacy? Oh, man. Go ahead, AK. It's on you, baby.
You should ask Young Thug that question.
Ask Young Thug that, yeah. But anyway, 20 years, what is the legacy of your words? What was the legacy of your words?
Those are some questions right there. I hope you wrote those down.
I got them. I got both of them. The one from Omari and I got one from Entitled. So it's down. So whoever's up next.
Yeah.
That was a fastball right there. That was a fastball and a changeup right there.
Definitely.
All right, AK. You can go on, do what you do, baby. And take this on.
We're gonna keep this short and we're gonna keep this brief. Yo, if y'all want to know what we have going on, I'm gonna be like Miss Lady Lady. Y'all need to tap into Stays In First over there on the school app, because that's where we post everything. Also, you can always tap into my Instagram, love_in lyrics. That's the letter N lyrics, because I'm always making posts, baby. I support everybody. So yeah, there's that. But stay tuned in with us here. This is every Sunday at 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. noon Eastern, and this is Afterglow Sundays, where the current stays flowing, baby. I'm just saying.
It just stays flowing. Briefly, Urban Echo, what you got going on, man, before we get up out of here, man? Tell us what's happening.
Oh, man. Go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead, Coach.
No, you got it.
No, your show.
All right. Next Thursday, we will be kicking off the new Urban Echo season, where we will be looking for the next Urban Echo Slam team. We're starting out by bringing in Ayanna Florence from the Rich Ink Slam team that made final stage at Southern Fried. She'll be here Thursday in Detroit, opening our series up. So we'll be running the Slam series until December. Then we have the American Anthology on Apartheid, which is a show I'm writing, currently creating. That'll be a stage show, standalone stage show. Dates will be announced. It'll probably be in April at the Charles H. Wright Museum here in Detroit is the plan. It's going to be powerful. It'll be poems about slavery, Jim Crow, so on and so forth. We also have Sharonda Eccentric Richardson will be bringing a play here in July. We're working on the details for that. That'll be in conjunction with Urban Echo or Global Poetry Slam League, which is our other entity. And we are in fundraising now to send our slam team to 3 different tournaments next year. And we have the Poets Paradise Writers Retreat coming up May 19th through the 23rd in Kissimmee, which is right next to Orlando, Florida. So that's going to be a 4-day writers retreat with workshops and performance workshops. So those are the big ticket items that we have coming up.
All right. Untitled.
Coach covered it.
Coach covered it. Okay. And how can we reach you, Untitled? How can we reach you,
I was going
Untitled?
to say, follow me on Instagram at We Are the Matrix, all one word, like it's a sentence. Or you can find me on Facebook at The Untitled Writer. The and Untitled is basically the first name. Writer is the last name. And
you spell writer differently.
oh yeah, I do. WRIGHTER.
Oh, okay.
And I look forward to interacting. There was a question in the chat that I saw because I just pulled it up from Birdhouse Music Group. What's the difference between spoken word and poetry? There's not. Poetry is something that you read. Spoken word is something that happens when you're reading aloud.
Come on.
Period.
Man. And shout out to my Birdhouse family.
Shout out to them, man, too.
Shout out to everyone in the comments and everyone that pulled up today, period.
For real,
so
man.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank y'all for the love, man. Well, listen, man, this has definitely been a pleasure for me. What is this? This is Afterglow Sundays from the Stays In Verse. Woo, man. Crossfade Commons, the current. I'm your host, Big Crave, and we thank you for attending. And remember, you are, you will behold what you become. Big Crave, and we out, man. Love y'all, man. Peace.
Verse, voice, and witness. Another Stays In production. Leave with your name, live.